If you rot a dam, you'll get a flood. But if you visit Rotterdam, you'll see some fine sports venues. And some dams. Here are the stadiums and arenas of Rotterdam, the Netherlands. Van Dongen aan de Roo Stadion. Despite Excelsior being a club that has won the Dutch First Division 3 times in its history, their stadium has a capacity of less than 5,000. They started playing at this approximate location when it was an estate known as Woudestein. Then they left for a while, then they came back and eventually built a proper stadium. This one. In fact, the ground's government name is Stadion Woudestein. Even though the club are in the second tier nowadays, this is still the smallest stadium in the league. So they have been planning on renovating the stadium significantly, which will include building apartment towers in the corners and increasing the capacity by 50%. But for now, it's still a decent little ground, I suppose, just nothing special. Sparta Stadion Het Kasteel. Sparta Stadion is this ground's official title, but it gets the additional Het Kasteel, which means the castle, because the exterior of the southern stand looks kind of like a castle, or maybe a stately home is more accurate. Either way, it's beautiful. As you can see, the castle is not just a facade, it extends to the interior as well. Originally, the castle was located behind one of the goals. They of course did not move the building, they reorientated the field. That was during a major rebuild in the late 90s. The ground originally opened way back in 1916 amidst World War I. The Netherlands remained neutral and were left unscathed. During World War II, however, Rotterdam was largely destroyed. Thankfully, the Kasteel survived that. Hopefully it stays around a while longer. Castles do have a pretty good track record for sticking around for a while. Rotterdam Ahoy! There are actually several halls on the premises. The second largest holds 7,000 for concerts, but I'm just going to be talking about the main arena. It was apparently designed to somewhat resemble a ship, because Dutch people like water or something. Let's just say I'm doubtful of its buoyancy, but if you squint, it does look somewhat ship-like, and you're also drunk. Rotterdam Ahoy is a novel name for an arena. It gets that name from an exhibition that is called Rotterdam Ahoy, which is what its predecessor was built for and named after. So actually, it gets that name from its predecessor. This place was originally designed to be an indoor velodrome. The velodrome was removed in 1988, and the capacity was subsequently increased. Nowadays it does have a removable cycling track, but other sports and events have well and truly taken over the calendar. Yet again, we're going to be talking about names, because like Het Kasteel, this stadium goes by a nickname that describes its looks. Its official name is Stadion Feyenoord, after the team that plays here, but it is more commonly known as de Kuip, meaning the tub, because it looks like a giant bathtub. That's helped along by the unique inclined roof that wraps its way around the entire seating bowl and shelters pretty much all the spectators. It only gained that extensive roof in the mid-90s. It's a ground that has had a history of uncertainty. Firstly, during the German occupation in World War II, the Germans considered tearing it down for scrap metal, but thankfully even Nazis like football. More recently, the club were considering building a new stadium, one that would have had more advanced technology. Presumably this was to be called De Jacuzzi, but those plans seem to have fallen by the wayside. So De Kuip is here to stay. The club bosses will be thinking, don't throw the baby out with De Kuip water though, so perhaps it will be extensively renovated instead. Top Sports Centrum Rotterdam. Much like Rotterdam Ahoy! This is part of a complex that includes several arenas, but this one is the biggest by far. Still, it's not very big. It has an interesting design, most notably the materials they've used to line the walls and ceilings. This almost looks like it's sound-absorbing material. Does this place double as a soundstage or something? Either way, it looks pretty cool. Here's the part where I realised that I forgot to look up the pronunciations. Schouten Zekerheid Stadion. That's probably close-ish. It's not often that we get to feature a hockey stadium on the channel. I mean, plenty of ice hockey arenas, sure, but not field hockey. A sport that is actually pretty popular in the Netherlands, as the recent Olympics results would suggest. AC Rotterdam actually had to move out of their old stadium because a new railway line was set to be built right through it. And I mean, whilst it's okay to train at your home ground, you can't have a train at your home ground. At least not on the field. Anyway, I'm sure the fans weren't too disappointed because this is a rather nice stadium. And it was built not all that far away from their old home. I love that pavilion. So there you have it. In the Battle of the Dams, I'd say that Rotterdam comes out on top, only slightly. As for my favourite of the lot, it was a toss-up between the tub and the castle. I'll go with the castle, because I don't like bathtubs. I prefer a shower, and a castle for that matter. Thanks for watching, have a good one.